the product of your faith true. This is 1,000,000% Radio.
Oh boy, this is my first show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chad the Challenger. Some of you on Blog Talk Radio know my voice, and it haunts you. Hopefully I made some friends out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1,000,000% proof that God exists. I am so excited for being the host for my very first show, so bear with me if you're joining us today. Oh, give me 1 second here. If you are just joining us today, I got a very special guest with me, and I apologize. Give me 1 second here because my guest has just called me on my phone. Give me 1 second. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right here, the number said it's not in service.
646. And by the way, I'm going to give you the number while I'm on the air right now. It's area code 6. Oh, I apologize. Yeah, 646. Thanks, Kent. I probably did out of nerves. Well, again, my name is Chad the Challenger. I am with 1,000,000% Proof God Exists. Now, I know that some of you are thinking to yourselves, how in the world did you come up with 1,000,000% proof God exists? 1,000,000% is a bad mathematical equation. I realize it doesn't make sense. I didn't mean it to be mathematical. I meant it to be just pure creative. And maybe my creative edge is gone. I'm bad at creativity. So I apologize. Oh, there he is right there. So I got Kent HOVIND with me today. And if you are reading the titles of these shows, both on Spreaker and on Blog Talk Radio, you'll see a little line there that says, evolution cannot be proven. Now, we're going to define what it means when we say evolution. That's big in Kent's ministry. I am so excited. I don't even know what to do with myself right now. I'm this first-time host with my first guest is Kent HOVIND. Oh, jeez. All right. Let me give you some Bible verses here. 2 Timothy 3:16. It says that all Scripture is inspired by God and is profitable for doctrine, reproof, for correction, and for instruction of righteousness. And I believe, you guys, the Bible, what that means is it's supernatural. You can't mess with the Bible. I believe it is literally true. Kent HOVIND would agree that it's historically accurate and it is supernatural. So I'm really excited. I'm going to put on my guest right now. Let's get into this. Oh, man, I'm so excited. Here we go. All right, do I have Kent on? Oop, just give it a second. It's thinking. Hello. All right, well, let me go ahead and this, like that. I don't know if you can hear me, Kent. Can you hear me? You got to press 1. Give me thumbs up. Hello? Interesting. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to put him back on hold. And then I am going to put it back on. See what happens. There we go. Hello, are you on?
Me.
Hello. Kent HOVIND.
Hello, I'm able to hear you just fine.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you just fine, Kent. All right, man. My first time showing, I'm already having technical difficulties here.
But according to evolution, things get better automatically. So if you just wait a while, it should heal.
Give it about 1,000,000 years, Kent?
I'm not sure how long radio takes to evolve, and buttons and stuff like that. Probably a couple of 100 million. Yeah, that ought to do it. I bet we can get a government grant and do a study on it.
Perfect. I'm a big fan of that.
Anyway, yes, it's good to be with you tonight.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Ken, I want to introduce you to our audience here, and I'm not sure who's listening and how this whole thing is working, but this is both an adventure for both me and you. But the Kent HOVIND is pretty well known for being an American evangelist. He's traveled all over the place, and I believe all over the world, right, Kent?
We've been to 37 countries, not all of them yet. I'm trying.
So he's been around, and he goes around challenging people on creation and evolution, even Christians. I'm kind of shocked. And by the way, Kent, I have a really hard time. I need you to help me. Could you help me with something?
If I'm able.
How do I get over this flat Earth theory? Because I believe the Earth is flat. Can you help me with that?
Well, if the Earth was flat, if it's flat, why can't I see Tokyo right now with a good telescope from here, from my roof?
I had to throw that in there because the reason I said that Kent has challenged both Christian and atheists and skeptics is because you get some very interesting questions. I have never heard the flat Earth theory. I heard it in the history books, but never with today's modern technology to be able to see the sphere of the Earth. But anyway, that's neither here or there. Let me continue. Kent has a very interesting story, and Kent, if you don't mind, he's not only been an evangelist and somebody I had admired for a long time, but listening to him for a very long time. You could check out his seminars and his debates if you go to YouTube, or you can go on to 2peter3.com. You can also check him out on YouTube as well as freekenthovind.com. And now, Kent, you have a very interesting story because it's pretty well known if you just type it. I like what you say, in fact. You say if you just type in HOVIND, your computer will melt. And that's because there's so many people that are very interested, including atheists. But you were in prison for 9 years. And I was wondering if you...
Yes, sir.
Could you tell me just 2 to 3, could you give our listening audience 2 to 3 minutes? I want to spend most of our time on evolution creation, but I also wanted to plug in a little bit about what has happened to you in the last 9 years. Would you be able to give us a little?
I'd be thrilled to. I'm Kent, K-E-N-T, HOVIND, H-O-V, like victory, I-N-D, like David. Born in Peoria, Illinois, 1953. Graduated from college in 74, and then went and taught high school science and math for 15 years. Moved to Pensacola in 89 and put the wife through college, and soon thereafter started a ministry called Creation Science Evangelism. I defend the Bible as being scientifically accurate in every detail. God made the world in 6 days, just like he said he did in the Bible. And it was about 6,000 years ago, just like the dates add up to. It is not millions of years old. And so I was traveling around having a wonderful time doing debates against atheists at universities and doing speaking all over the place about 900 times a year. When the IRS came in with a SWAT team and arrested my wife and I said, what is going on? Well, you're being arrested for structuring. I said, I don't even know what that is. Well, 5 years ago, you took money out of the bank in amounts less than $10,000. Yeah, that was church money taken out of a church bank to pay church bills. We're remodeling. We bought 5 or 6 houses in the neighborhood, older neighborhood. We're fixing them up for our staff to live in. And so when college students came to work, we'd say, here's the pickup truck and $4,000 to buy shingles and plywood.
Yeah,
Ken. It was a lot easier to deal in cash.
Yeah, Ken, I want to interrupt.
Doing that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I also wanted to clarify something with the structuring. From my understanding, based on what I have listened to, structuring is a law that's really targeting drug dealers, right? And if you take in the amount of over 10,000 in 2 transactions in a day, you're considered structuring. Is that correct?
Correct. It's a stupid law to begin with, but it's your money. But yeah, the idea was to catch drug dealers. So if you took 2 transactions out in one day that were under 10,000, but they totaled over 10,000, they'll say you have structured your withdrawals or transactions
That's
to
incredible.
avoid this reporting requirement. We never did that. We had one single withdrawal of church ministry money about every 12 days. Never twice on one day. Never. About every 12 days, my wife would get cash on hand for all the projects we had going on. It was like no big deal. Then in late 2002, we stopped doing that and got credit cards for the students instead. And I never thought anything about it. In 2006, we get arrested at gunpoint with a SWAT team. I said, what is wrong with you people? What do you want? Structuring. They gave me a 10-year sentence and said all that money that was taken out over those 3 years, that $400-some thousand, you have to pay to the government. I said, you've got to be kidding.
So they took all of your money.
Now we owe that.
So they took all of your money. They took your property, your church property, and all of the ministry you did for Dino Land. They took all of that away from you.
Exactly right. There are 4 properties, kind of like a checkerboard together. I live in one of them, and the other 3 surround us with Dinosaur Adventureland, our shipping and receiving. We sent videos all over the world. They seized all 4 properties, sold 2 of them back to my son. We've lived here 25 years. He had to buy back the house we live in.
Oh, my.
And another guy bought another one, and the 4th one is the parking lot that is still sitting empty. They've tried to auction it off. Nobody will bid on it because it's so radioactive. This is such a stupid case at multiple levels. Then the U.S. attorney, who put me in jail, and then he went down and seized the church bank account. A couple weeks later, he flew to Detroit to have sex with a 5-year-old, got arrested getting off the plane with Vaseline and a doll,
and
hung himself in jail in Detroit. Google John David Roy Atchison. That's the guy put me in jail for structuring. I said, you've got to be kidding. It is so bizarre. Anyway, during my 9 years in prison, I was able to write 37 books, and including one on end times, which is up on 2peter3.com. This is the number 2, the word Peter, and the number 3. The book is called What on Earth is About to Happen, for heaven's sake. That book is going really viral because I had to change my theology on end times about the rapture and the timing and all that stuff. But anyway, everybody's loving that. So I've been out of prison now for 101 days. And God is really blessing. But I'm really starting from scratch. I mean, they see
it really
everything.
is. How about that?
Praise God. My son started a new ministry called Creation Today, and he's just a mile away here. So he's doing a great job. So anyway, our website is is 2peter3.com. My YouTube channel, like I said, I've been out 101 days. We already have 1.8 million views on YouTube.
Praise God.
HOVIND official. If people want to watch that. That's really good. And the atheists are going berserk.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Now your computer will explode.
Oh, you know what? I got to tell you. Oh, wait, go ahead, Dr. Hovind. What are you going to say?
Well, they hate me because I'm permanently stuck in 4th grade, and I can make the complex things real simple for 4th graders to understand, and that's what they don't like about it. And so I can explain carbon dating to a 4th grader and dinosaurs, and I guess I'm a threat to their worldview or something. I don't know, but
wow.
I'm a grandfather, got 5 grandkids, and I'm maybe a little personally prejudiced here, but I'm the nicest guy I've ever met. I don't know why they don't like me.
Well, you know what's interesting. You know what's interesting, Dr. Hovind, is I had watched the debate that no professor wanted to debate you. It was at Berkeley, California, and where you debated all of the students there. And that was it made one of the more interesting debates because you allowed almost the entire audience to be able to ask you questions. Would you consider yourself that to be one of the more challenging kind of debates where you allow the students to intervene instead of you debating, maybe one professor or in some cases 3 professors, which is hilarious. But do you find it easier or harder? What's your view on that when you went to Berkeley there?
I really, really enjoyed the Berkeley one. We tried to get a professor to debate. And I don't find it any more challenging. I find all of them amazingly. I've had 105 debates now. They're just amazingly easy. I mean, how on earth can you defend the idea that we came from a rock?
Yeah. Well, you don't believe that, Dr. Hovind? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, you'd have to have a lot of help to be that stupid. I don't think you could do it on your own.
Yeah, I got to tell you,
some professor help you through that pathway.
I got to tell you, I teach a class at my church, and we talk about a lot of different worldviews because I want the students to see there's a lot of people who believe false things. And one of the most humorous videos I've ever seen, and maybe you've all seen this on YouTube, it's a group of about 10 to 15 people. I forgot the name of their organizations, but they're like, and I hate to sound like I'm stereotyping, but they're like tree huggers. Okay, that's the best I can do. And they are wailing, they are crying over dead trees. The video starts off with them absolutely devastated that there's this dead tree in the middle of this forest. And at one point, one of the girls that was the leader of the group turns to the camera and says, "This is my sanctuary. This is where I want to be. I want to be with this guy." And she's pointing to a rock saying it has life. Now, I know that's not the same as the evolutionary scientific theory, but I just